So apparently, what is being expressed is this boom. This boom does not have a pre-boom or a post-boom. Everything is boom already. It is the eternal boom, boom, pow in this infinite now. It is this unflinching, unconditional wow. Whatever it is boom. That's it. Boom. That's it. There's no getting to this boom because it's already it. There's no avoiding this boom because it's already boom. It's always boom. So this boom is the loud, resonant, deep silence that always is. This booming peacefulness is reverberating, echoing, that is always it, whatever it is. No matter what seems to be thought of is boom, that's it. The gladness, boom, that's it. The sadness, boom, that's it. Even the madness, boom, that's it. The seeking for the boom is the boom. The longing for the boom is also the boom. That is it. So if the boom is always the boom, what's the point of this? Boom. There's no point. There's nothing at all. It's just always this boom. The boom is this deeply mysterious, wordless, and empty understanding. It's always boom. It's always it. The belief, the concept, the meaning, it all goes boom. The truth, the knowledge, the understanding, the wisdom, everything goes boom. The me or the no me goes boom. Everything went boom. There's no more past, no present, no future. It's always boom. And seemingly there's these words to try to express what this boom is. But this boom is not like the Tao because that's an understanding. Although it tries to say that it's not an understanding, it becomes something. It's something that cannot be touched, something that cannot be known because it's always boom. But even that seeming understanding of what it is just the boom. Boom, that's it. Boom, that's it. Boom, that's it. Even when it's not feeling, that's it. So this infinite boomness is what is. Unfortunately, we cannot really call it any names. I'm using the boom as an expression, although it cannot be expressed, that there always is this boom. Not the boom as this sound, not the boom as an occurrence, not the boom as a happening, not the boom as an understanding or not waiting for the boom. It's always this boom, meaning that whatever is thought of, whatever is understood, whatever is waited for is already this boom. Boom is almost like the annihilation or the destruction of anything that's thought of. It's like the boom is always the boom. There's nothing to know, there's nothing to figure out because it's always this boom. And the longing and the seeking for it sometimes is this trying to figure out what is being said, and the reason, there's no reason at all. But the occurrence of this speaking is just this booming nothing. Boom, it's everything. Boom, it's nothing. It's not even that. It's just this unchanging boom. It's always this been boom. Even if you try to insert another word in there like nothing, that also goes boom. Because it's not about landing or getting something that can never be figured out. So if it can't be figured out, trying to figure out is also this boom. There's nothing needed because the moment that there is a thinking or a longing, that's also it. Boom, that's it. That's what it is. It's always what is. No matter what is longed for, no matter what is seen, it's just this boom. Even when there's an apparent trying to get to the truth, it's boom. There's no truth and there's truth at the same time. So it's almost like this, everything is this explosion, but nothing is exploding. Nothing has any meaning. Nothing has anything at all. It's a no thing. This boom is a no thing. This boom is the permanence. This boom is always what it is. But it cannot be thought about because the moment that's that thought about, boom, that's also it, but without the thinking. without the understanding, without anything at all. Boom is like the black hole. Boom is like the empty. Boom is like the nothing. Everything is obliterated. And when there's this boom, seemingly that is seen, that's booming constantly, there's this emptiness, there's this wordless resonance, this reverberation that nothing is happening. Nothing has any meaning. Nothing can be figured out. Before the apparent character lands into something, there's almost like this tick, tick, boom. It's nothing. And I can't teach you the boom because there's no teaching on how to get to the boom when it's always booming, when it's always exploding, when it's not, when it cannot be contained because it will always go boom. And when the boom seemingly appears, it also disappears. It's hard to maintain what cannot be thought of because everything just goes boom. When the character goes to sleep, everything goes boom, deep sleep. When the character is doing something that they love, boom, there's no character. Everything is just this seeming pre-boom and post-boom, but it's always this boom. And this boom cannot be talked about. It's wordless. It cannot be experienced. It's not a state. It's not a learning. It's not a level. It's nothing at all. It's just always this infinite boom. And whatever that is being thought of right now, boom, when it's seen that there's just this exploding nothingness, this disintegrating everything, the annihilation of everything that is known, even the idea of nihilism is blown. Any belief, any understanding, any figuring out just goes boom. Boom, that's it. Boom, that's it. That's always it, no matter what it is. It's like the knowing and the unknowing simultaneously exploding. It's the empty understanding. It's the meaninglessness, the purposelessness of everything. When the meaning seems to appear, it becomes meaningless. Boom. When there seems to be a purpose, it doesn't have any purpose. Boom. It's like the collision of nothing and everything seemingly exploding, but nothing is really happening. But that's not even that, because that idea that nothing is happening also goes boom. It's like an explosion, but nothing exploded because there's nothing to explode or nothing exploded in the first place. It's always just this seemingly appearance. And then there's a seeing that it's really nothing. It's like having this vividness of a dream. And then when there's this awakeness, boom, it was really nothing. Or having this thought about something and boom, it was really nothing. So in this wordless, wondrous appearance of nothing, it doesn't have a source. It doesn't become everything. It's just nothing. There's this directness, this seeming intimacy that everything is already what is. And even when there's an obstruction of thoughts or ideas or understanding of what this is, that gets also exploded into nothing. So when there's this constant explosion of nothing and everything, there's just this seeing that, okay, this is what it is. No matter the deception or the integration or whatever ideas come, it's always what it is. There's just this infiniteness, this radicalness that everything is already what it is. It doesn't need to have a boom because it's already boom. It's already done. It doesn't need to have a understanding or a figuring out or a grasping or a landing because boom, it's this already. Boom, this is already it. Boom, it's always been this way. Boom, there's already no you. If you have any questions, please go ahead. Coffee. You can also type, there's a question here. Is the boom the liberation that everybody is trying to talk about? Again, don't get caught up. It's just words, right? There is just this seeming holding on to words seemingly, and although there's no one holding on to anything, there's this seeming trying to figure out what's being said, and that's also it. That's also what is. The trying to get, there's also what is. It can never be what is not, because even what is not is always what is. Jeffrey, go ahead, please.
Yes, well.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm booming. What becomes clear to me is that whatever you say, the opposite is also true at the same time.
Yes, because there's no opposites, right? It's true and not true.
Right there, there's no opposites. There are also opposites.
Yeah.
There's non-duality and there's also duality.
Exactly.
There's up and there's also down. There's everything and there's also nothing.
But if you take away all the words, does that even mean anything? Is there any even meaning to anything that's being said? If the words are just boom, there are no words. Boom, there are no thoughts. What is this?
Right, but the meaning comes in when you have to do the laundry. So you run out of socks.
Does it really though?
Well, when you run out of socks, you need to do the laundry. I mean, there's the meaning right there. I mean, again, in the moment, there's no meaning. But when I need to put my socks on, then there's the meaning that I need to do the laundry.
Yeah.
So what I'm seeing here is that I'm having a hard time finding that place where I can combine the two.
Yeah.
The non-duality and the duality, where there's not a conflict between.
But there's no conflict aside from thoughts. There's no conflict aside from thinking that there's a conflict.
Oh, but then right there is the same thing. There's no thoughts, but then there are also thoughts.
But who's...
I'm not... You're not suggesting that I stop thinking.
Yeah.
Right?
Who's going to stop thinking anyway if there's no one? If it's just what is. If there's nothing wrong with what seems to be appearing, meaning that when everything goes boom, meaning or no meaning is just the same boom. Doing or not doing is the same boom. Everything is just the same boom. Nothing, everything. And again, we're just swirling words, right? We're just trying to mix words to see what tastes better.
So the boom is in the middle between.
No, it's in everything.
So it's where opposites combine.
That's not even that's also it, but it's not it. It's not about trying to figure out something, right? It's not trying to like, oh, I got it. It's combining everything, and then you explode it. No, everything does not have any existence. It goes boom. So whatever you think, the moment that it seemingly entered goes, it's nothing. Boom. It's everything. Whatever it is. It's in the directness, again, in the intimacy of this, when there are no words, when there are no meanings, when there's no purpose and everything is just what it is. It's a boom.
Well, then,
so it doesn't matter if it's this, the apparent character can only think this way or that way. Even together is this way. You know what I'm saying? There's always an apparent understanding or a seeming kind of like figuring. It's not about figuring out or not figuring it out. It is what it is. It does not need any input from Jeffrey. It's always boom.
Well, I get that. I get that. But there's always the but. And the but is...
What if the but is also the boom? It doesn't matter.
All right. then nothing matters.
Exactly. Boom. That's not even that. That's just another statement again.
Because everything also matters.
Boom. That's also it.
All right. Well, I'll
It doesn't
try
see.
to.
It doesn't see right or wrong. Everything is just boom. Right. Everything is it.
And nothing is it.
Boom.
Boom to that too.
Boom to that too. Boom to everything
boom
and nothing.
To your boom. Boom to your boom.
There's no me because that's already boom, you know? Anything that lands, it's just nothing.
So what are we doing here? Boom.
Nothing.
All right. Well, I like your boom philosophy.
I was my little nephew used to dance to the song called Boom Boom Pow. So I just wrote down Boom Boom Pow as the title.
Okay, well, I'll just keep booming here and we'll see what happens.
No worries. Thank you, Jeff.
Boom boom.
Boom boom. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Emerson.
Hello.
I can't resist.
Yeah, go ahead.
Without trying to lower the boom
No worries.
on anyone in particular.
Yeah.
For me and my generation, we already are and always have been boomers.
Yeah, I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer.
That's all.
Perfect. Hello to all the boomers. Everything already went boom for the boomers. Harvey. Oh, I can't hear you, Harvey. You have to, something about your mic.
Unmute.
Unmute. I think he's unmuted, but his mic is not connected. Apparently, boomers are not good at technology. I can't help it too.
Especially this one. This I got to get into the store and get somebody to show me how to work this thing. But the problem will be there won't be a Zoom call. And it'll be like, because you got to pull down this little tiny green line that comes across the top and then goes to the bottom where you see the thing, the camera and the microphone. But if you don't hit it right away, it disappears again. Then you got to go up to the top and keep tapping to get the green line down. I look like a jerk as usual. But anyway, no, I just want to say Happy Father's Day.
Boom.
I know you have a lot of boom boom nieces and nephews, so Happy Father's Day.
Oh,
and
you.
I enjoyed the story of the confirmation.
Oh, thank you.
I really did. But anyway.
Thank you. Thank you, iPhone.
Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Anyway, so I wanted to tell you a Father's Day joke.
Go for it.
So I'm glad I'm not looking at you. I mean, you're looking at me. I mean, you're looking at me, whatever. Okay. So, a girlfriend of mine said, I know you go to Emerson's meetings and what, is he a dad? Is he a dad? I said, no, he's a faux pas. You like
That's the
it?
best dad joke. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I'm tapping away here now to get that screen down.
Your intro was so clear and obvious. Boom. Thank you. Yeah, it's this communication is so simple. And it does not really require any words, any complexity in trying to, adhere to an understanding or trying to get into conceptual ideas of what is, or even trying to peel away layers of understanding, which also leads to understanding. It's the absence, the boom. Like, when there's a boom, there's just this almost like what was that? Nothing. So everything that is collected, everything that is thought of, everything that is figured out goes boom. And in the seeking kind of like, story, it was always about attaining something. It's also always about figuring out something. It's always about trying to put everything in boxes as an idea. Let me put that in a shelf. Let me put that in everything. So this is almost like the explosion of all of those shelves, all of those compartments that are created. It does not require anything at all. So when the boom goes, everything clears up. You're like, okay, whatever it is. It's not about a solution. It's not about a situation. It's not about any kind of like an establishment. It has nothing to do with authority. So every idea that seems to appear goes boom. It's just what is. Every single figuring out goes boom. It is what it is. Any position gets obliterated, boom. There's not even a point of argument about this because everything just goes boom. Right or wrong goes boom. I can keep on going and I'll just keep on saying boom. William, hello. Hi, William.
Hi.
Hi.
What I'm getting is that every moment,
yeah,
everything disappears. It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's like a magic marker. Just as soon as it comes, and then it's gone. It comes, it's gone. It doesn't even come.
It's the sameness in everything. It's the sameness in coming and going. It's the no division or no separation of what seems to be appearing, right? So the boom it's not a mark or anything. It's just kind of like, oh, because it's easy to get caught up in the idea that there is a reality or no reality. It's easy to get caught up in the opposites or the separation or the fluctuations and everything. But when it's seen that this is just all stillness, then boom, everything that is moving is also stillness.
And when I look at the trail that my image leaves, which is nothing, it's like it just keeps disappearing, that there is no trail.
Yeah.
That every, and it's like whatever fear, whatever concern, whatever shame is gone. It's like there's no way it can exist because it's in the moment gone. In the moment gone.
It is what it is.
Boom.
Yeah, it's boom. That's it. Boom. That's it.
Yeah.
It's
thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not thanking you, but I'm just thanking this moment, this boom, this feeling.
Yeah.
Is here, gone.
Yeah.
You're gone. You're gone.
It's gone, and always gone, right? This moment is gone, and beyond gone. It's just what is.
I can't even sneak up on it.
No. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Whenever seeming moments becomes this momentlessness, then there's almost kind of like this getting caught up, of what is. But when that gets exploded, and it's this like almost like a shaking of the head, like, okay, this is what is too. It's always what is. No matter what it is, it's always what is. This moment is momentless. This time is timeless. This nothing is everything. Everything becomes synonymous. Boom. The separation is just an appearance. Boom. The opposites are just an appearance. Boom. There are really no words to describe this. Boom. There is no separation. It's almost like the opposite of knowing. It's like unknowing everything that is seemingly known. It's knowing that it's unknown, but not for anyone. So even the position, the center, there's no center. Boom, there's no center. There's no position. Boom. It's just what is. Jeff, did you want to say something? Oh. Not sure what happened there. Jeff went boom. Question here. Hello, Emerson. I'm curious if you went back to the monastery, if you can talk about that. That was such a great talk last week. Yes, I went back to see the brothers. It was a great conversation as well. It was just again, it was very, there is this, when there's this religion or spirituality that is involved, there seems to be a longing for a teaching, longing for an understanding or a deeper kind of like connection to what they are, practicing for and everything. So the talk that I did was it's about the something about practice. I can't remember. It's about the purposelessness of practice, especially going to an establishment that is built on practice. There was a lot of kind of like wrestling with the idea that there's, if practice happens and practice doesn't happen, it's always already what is. Yeah. And then I later found out yesterday when I came back, I went to a barbecue with the couple of characters here. It was mentioned that there was some controversy with some of the monasteries that I went to. But that's just another story. It really means nothing at all.
Could you say more about the relationship between awareness and boom?
Even that goes boom, because that's just another concept. That's just another idea. The awareness is trying to be aware of the boom, and that's dualistic, which is, there's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just what is. But when it's seen that it's just this, even that is the directness. So the awareness seems to be this understanding that everything is already aware, or whatever seems to be thought of about it. There's many different explanations of what awareness is, or being aware, abiding in, all that kind of stuff. That also goes away. It's just this. So there's no relation to anything at all. It's boom. Everything, even in relation to, is just boom. It can't be thought about. It can't be figured out. It's just this. So it's this void. It's this emptiness that cannot be, this impersonal emptiness.
And even the concept oneness is that void.
It's also, yeah, it's also boom. Any word that comes up is just obliterated, right? Because it just, if there was a seeming kind of like, annihilation of every single word, if there was a, one day, there was no one day and there's no words, it's just this. So any idea, everything that has ever been thought of just went kaput, boom. Is gone. Again, there's nothing wrong or right about words like oneness or awareness and everything, but everything that's thought of is just this clarity that it can't be thought of. And then words are all made up. Every single perception, every single awareness, or every single figuring out, and it doesn't matter, just gets bulldozered into this flatness of nothing. And everything arises, is also nothing. It's also boom. It's the destruction of everything and nothing. So there's no room for confusion, or no room for argument, or no room for figuring out, because it's gone. It's just what is. Every debate is moot. It's just what is. Undebatable. Just this.
Emerson?
Oh, just a second. I think
oh, sorry.
William is still,
he's still talking.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing I was going to say is a laugh is boom. A boom is laugh. Yeah. Laughter is that boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like, when it's seen that it's just this. There's joy without any cause. There's peace without no pause. Right? It's just this. So laughter appears, sadness appears, crying appears. It's just what is. Boom. It doesn't have any reason anymore, because reason is just another idea of what is happening. So when that's boomed, then it's just this nothing. Peace. A lot of characters are afraid of the word nothing. A lot of seekers are afraid of the absence. But that can also be synonymous with this peace that does not have any division. Peace that is impersonal. The death of everything. Peace. Go ahead, iPhone.
Yeah, the death of everything. Yeah, peace. Anyway, I don't know if you wanted to talk about about the monks. Were they what were they? Buddhists or Zen or?
They were from the. I should not say a lot, but they were monks. They were brothers. They were Buddhists, basically.
Buddhists that took their vows and everything and live in the monastery.
That's right. Yeah.
And so you were talking to them about practice.
There was to make a long story short, there was a Buddhist that was listening. There was a couple of Buddhists that left their monastery and they contacted someone in Canada, another Buddhist. And then this Buddhist started listening to my videos, to this character's videos, for 6 months. And then he left the monastery and he wanted to bring me to these monasteries and talk about the, apparently there's a lot of seeming depression that appears when there is this, when there's seemingly no choice, what I'm saying, of staying or leaving the monastery. So there's just this talk about, what liberation is without the construct of an understanding or belief system. So it's just a free-flowing conversation. One of the talk was about stillness, which I talked about last Sunday. And this talk about was just the absence of practice, of wanting to practice or not to practice. It's just what is. So basically to talk about, unconditional liberation. That's basically it.
Right. Yeah. Their practice is for the good of all, or something like that, right? Like the chants and.
I'm not really sure. I didn't really get into it. I just did the talk over there.
Because I was thinking like what, like the practicing is, I think, for all, not for redemption or anything like that. I think. Sure. I don't know.
It could be
I
different
barely even know
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's different sects of it too, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be respectful and not give a lot of information, but yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell about the monastery. I don't know. Maybe there's somebody at the, the meeting right now. I don't know. I just, it's just like really kind of interesting that they've, are finding this uncompromising non-duality message. It's like amazing because, the life to me, I've only read in a magazine was so austere if you lived in a monastery and it just like nonstop prayer.
What they liked about what they liked about this character when they listened to this communication is there's a lot of stories about this characters also meditating and seeking. So there's they can relate to it seemingly, of doing 3 to 4
which
hours.
Character?
This character.
Oh, because you used to teach
that's
meditation.
Right, yeah.
So that's why.
So
okay.
There's this.
Yeah. So they know you have a whole, kind of went through that.
That's right.
What they're doing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because it must be pretty intense. That's real interesting. So it's kind of like an ongoing thing now.
Yeah, and there was some similarities. For example, when I was seeking, right, if I wanted to get out of it, I didn't see the meaning and purpose of the contemplation, the meditation, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of
that was
questions.
After you met Tony, though.
What's that?
Right. That was after you met Tony.
Before I never really
you
met
stopped
Tony.
Feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I just thought that's when. No, when the contemplation and the meditation, I thought maybe it was around this message.
Oh, there was, again, it's just a story that I've told so many times. There was
I know, and I've probably heard it so many times and don't remember. So yeah.
There was teaching of it. There was seemingly leaving from it. It's just a story, right? So when there's just seeing that the significance or the significance of what is being practiced or not practiced is just a story. But it was seen as my reality. So when that reality started cracking, when the lens of perception seemingly was smudged, and so there was this, and that's the stories that are being expressed, and being heard, I guess, by a lot of people that does this practice. And there were a few people that have been. It's kind of funny. I'm getting a lot of correspondence from different characters that have similar, very strict kind of like practice and wanting to see what is that's basically it.
Wow, that's amazing. There's some kind of relationship there, even though I know there's no such thing as relationship, but that's how they're wedging their way in. And I'm sure when you were going through your crumbling down, I'm sure there was support. I know you had Jim and Andreas and I don't know who else. I'm sure you had a lot of support when it started because I know those people are really close to you. So yeah, because it's too much, right? The crumbling.
It was funny because I didn't really, I was just I didn't really speak a lot about that, to anyone basically, right? So but there was just this resonance with these characters of what's being said basically.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Boom, boom, boom. As the walls come tumbling down. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, thanks again.
Thank you. William, go ahead, please.
I got another question.
Go ahead.
When you're not with Boom,
there's no one in Boom.
No one but.
It's just Boom.
and what about this thing called story?
Story is just what is. Yeah, it's just an appearance, right? So When it's seen that the story is also, no matter how seemingly relevant it is, it's also irrelevant, then boom. Yeah, it can't be thought of. When there seems to be a disappearance or an absence of meaning or no meaning, it's just boom. It's just what is. It stops everything on its track, right? It just becomes the infiniteness, meaning that it does not need, it's moving, but it's also still at the same time.
Do you enjoy the story still, though?
They're just stories. There's no enjoyment or non-enjoyment. It's just stories. Yeah. There's no personalization to it.
Do you go there or stay there, or whether you notice?
No. Again, all of these words that are just appearing just goes boom, right? So I can talk about a biography of this character Emerson, and then every single time that the word is said, it's gone already. So in this directness, right? So the stories that even if I say that there's meaning in this and there's no meaning in it, both are boom.
Right. Okay.
So it doesn't matter what it's not even the idea of personalization. It's just boom. It's just nothing. So it's like, I'll give you an example. You can have a very vivid dream last night, I'm saying, of William listening to this communication and having all this sort of feelings and everything, oh, this feels wonderful or this feels dreadful. The moment that there is this boom, wakeness, happens, then the dreadful or the whatever seems to appear, all of that experiences is boom, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. So this boom is not about an experience, because the experience is just an illusion. Yeah.
For me, what occurred, it's a magic eraser.
It is. It's like a magic eraser. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like the infinite reset button, that nothing.
Yes. Oh, I love it. That's good. But I love the story too.
Oh, the stories are great too. Yeah. But it's also a reset button.
Yeah. So it's like having 2 for 1. I can always have the reset, but I love the story.
Oh, good. Yeah, there's a sharing of the story here. It doesn't matter, story or not story, they're the same. It's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about appreciation? Like, I so much appreciate right now you in what you're saying. And that's gone too.
Yeah. Isn't that grand? Appreciation or non-appreciation is the same. It's just this. Yeah. Okay. It's like holding a fistful of sand, thinking that this is my destiny, and throwing it up in the air. And it's nothing. It's gone.
I love this phrase: the enjoyment of the journey is the destination, and it's gone.
And it's gone, yeah. Every narrative is just it's like an etch-a-sketch, right? So when, I don't know if you remember etch-a-sketch, the narrative appears and it's gone.
Yeah.
The narrative happens and it's not there as well. So it doesn't matter what stories or anything at all, right? It's just what is this boom that cannot be figured out.
Nothing to do.
Nothing to do, or even if something to do, it's the same boom. It doesn't matter. Yeah. There's no one choosing it, because it's just this boom. Boom, that's it. Thank you. Question here. Oh, sorry. Did I not open the chat? Okay. Chat here. Thank you, Emerson, for the boom intro. Impossible to ask anything really, but still, could you maybe speak a bit about paranoia in the dream, as it keeps raising in this character, and there was much of it during the last years of seeking. Oh yeah, the apparent residue of seeming kind of like having paranoia or anxiety about what is, when there is clarity. Even a paranoia, what I'm saying, is also vanishes. It's just what is. That's also it. So when it's seen that as also boom, meaning that it does not have any significance, then it seemingly, and this is just a story, diminishes its hold. The residues seemingly fall. It doesn't stick anymore. It's just what is. There is this seeming kind of like especially when especially when there is this intense seeking or the intense involvement in a structured, belief system. Like, kind of like what I was mentioning about, having that practice, having that, having a guru or having an ideology or a philosophy that is thought of as reality. So there's going to be this, what if, the buts and everything that seems to appear. But when it's seen that that's also what boom is, all the movements and questions, paranoia, anxiety, is just what is seemingly appearing as an obstacle, an obscuring of what is already clear, that's also this nothingness, this emptiness that cannot be talked about or spoken about. It's just what is. So whatever seems to appear seems to seemingly, slide off as if it was really nothing. It's like when there is someone that is so caught up in their nightmares that when they wake up, they usually kind of like, try to figure out what happened and everything. But eventually they see that it was really nothing. I'm like, oh, it was just a nightmare. There was no reality to it. Hello, Emerson. I used to chant and people heard me and thought I was nuts. Eek. I'm laughing, but it's uncomfortable memory. I used to chant too. I used to have my own harmonium and I used to lead, call and response. That was my my substitute for karaoke singing, since I like karaoke singing. So when I became this spiritual character, there was this singing of, whatever what it was, Om Namah, whatever chanting that was, yeah. There's nothing wrong or right about it. It's just what is. But there was this, when mantra, saying when that was studied, I thought it was the stopping of the mind. But what was seen as was that it was actually just a reinforcement that there's something that needs to be changed, that a thought needs to be clarified or a thought needs to be eliminated. So it just goes in this circular, kind of like a mantra, it just goes back and forth. Thank you. Relate to the intense seeking and structure. Yeah, there was such a structured, character here that every day was just this, scheduled of, purifying and meditating and contemplating, journaling, studying. It was this discipleship and guruship and all this kind of stuff, everything that was maintained, everything that was like a bondage. So what this boom is almost like the obliteration of all of those shackles, of all of those structures, of all of those meanings, of all of those ideas. Every single authority is just blown away. It's blown up to pieces. And so there's just this unconditional freedom that does not even have to be mentioned, does not even have to be practiced, does not even have to be contemplated. It doesn't have to be in a mantra. It's just what is. So there's an easiness, seemingly, a relaxation like no other, because there's nothing to attain anymore. There's nothing to figure out anymore. There's nothing to know anymore, because everything that seems to land blows up. Boom, nothing. Boom, nothing. Like a magic eraser, like this infinite etch a sketch, everything just shaken off as what is.
Hey, Emerson, can you hear me? Hey, I got my mic fixed, I think.
Oh, hi, Harvey.
I was just thinking it reminded me of like the boom, like a frame in like film, when you're the old film.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Each frame is just, it's like birth and death simultaneously. It's there, yes. But it's not, there's no time. It's like the immediacy is so immediate. It's born, it's dead, but even that is just more words. But it's kind of like, and it looks like time because it's absolutely complete and perfect. And
it is. And any idea that appears like, like it's just collapsed into this, right?
Yeah,
it just demolishes everything that can like Oh, and I used to do that. When I used to have thoughts, I used to kind of like shake my head and try to shake it off, try to get rid of any of those thoughts that would happen. But kind of like what you're saying, everything is already in a frame. Everything is already, it's already complete. There's nothing that's needed because it's just a frame.
It's done.
It's done.
Like,
yeah. It's framed.
it's like obvious.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. When everything just goes up and boom, everything just is destructed. And there's this clarity. It's like the smoke clears. You're like, okay, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so simple. It's so obvious. It's just.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's even the story. The story is complete in the frame or whatever.
It is.
Yeah.
I also like the idea that, in a film, right, there's 24 frames, right? And people don't see the bars in between. And there's just this whole image, right? But I like that as well. So when there's just this play of light, this play of light happening, which is also the boom, right? So when it's seen that this play is also not happening, then boom, it's nothing. You're like,
It was like, it's like, the film, I mean, it's like, it looks like it's all this time and continuity, but each frame it's like a boom.
Each frame is boom. Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's it.
I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope no one took any offense. There's no one anyway when I said boomer. My little nephews and nieces calls me, you're from the 1900s, aren't you? I'm like, yes, from the 1900s.
Emerson?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you say something about relationships?
Relationships.
I'm finding it difficult to maintain relationships. Relationships seem to depend upon the past. They want you to be a person that they know from the past. And if I'm just booming, I have nothing to say to anyone.
If any idea about relationship is blown up, meaning there's no really separation, is there even a relationship aside from a thought?
Then what? How to deal with other people?
What is aside from a thought? Are there really other people?
Yes, there are other people. You're not suggesting there are not other people.
I'm not suggesting anything at all. Everything just goes boom. Right. Other people, boom.
So other people are just booming.
It's just what is. Yeah, it's just what is.
But
any idea that you seemingly have about relationship is just an idea. It's just empty ideas. It doesn't really have any significance aside from an idea that it has significance.
That's fine, except that other people make demands.
Who are these other people? Show them to me.
They expect something. Well, you're an example. Don't you expect something from me?
No.
You don't?
No.
Well, you're an exception. Not everyone is Emerson.
There's no even an Emerson to be anyone.
Right. Well, most of the people that I know don't come from a movie place.
Oh, totally. You know what? There's no advice that can be given because it's just seen as what is. If there's an idea that there's a relationship there or no relationship, that's just what is. If there's an idea, and again, in the absence of any ideas, does any advice even warrant to be given? Because it's just what is.
But I feel a sense of loneliness.
It's just loneliness happening. Yeah. And again, you know what? There's nothing wrong or right about loneliness. It's just what's happening.
All right.
It's just what's happening. Yeah.
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah. You know, and then that's
I
also
feel
what
sad.
is.
I feel sad that I don't.
You can message me, Jeff. You can message people here, you know. Maybe I'll have meetings every other day. I don't know.
I just feel sad that I don't want other people anymore. I don't want anything from anybody.
Yeah. It's just what is. It's just what seems to appear. You know what I'm saying? And but there's nothing that a thought is not permanent, right? There's seemingly sadness happening. And then there's a forgetting about sadness and what people call as peace, or people call as happiness or something. There's no constancy in ideas of sadness and everything. There was this idea of this character being sad for a long period of time, but that's not true. It's just what is. It's just what's appearing. And what's appearing is not the permanence. It's just what's appearing. It's like a dream that is constantly changing. But there's always this peace in what seems to be appearing. There's this idea of separation, but this idea of separation, like loneliness or sadness, is just like a dark cloud that passes. There's always this clear sky of what seems to be all of this sadness or, you know, loneliness seems to be appearing. But there's this breakout room, you know what I'm saying? Feel free to chat with characters here, although there's no one here, just an idea. Feel free to chat to characters, you know what I'm saying? And also seeking out friendships and relationships is also what is. There's nothing wrong or right about that. There's no advice that can be given here, you know what I'm saying? But just it's just what is.
Well, relationship depends on separation. You can't have relationship.
That's what I'm trying to suggest, right? If there is really no thought, if there's really no idea of what is, it's just what's happening. You can't even call it separation. Sadness happens. There's this feeling of separation, but it's just a feeling. There's a feeling of loneliness. There's just a feeling of loneliness. But when it's seen that that's also peace appearing as, booming as loneliness, booming as sadness, booming as wanting to be in relationships, then it's basically just the emanation from that stillness, from that peace. It's just peace longing for peace. It's already peace.
So you just accept everything.
There's no you to accept everything. It's just what is. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Now, feel free in the story. Feel free to kind of like chat with like a lot of boomers, and Zoomers in the breakout room. And if you like, you know what, just message me if you want to chat. You know what I'm saying? If you want to chat, yeah, message me. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Hello, Emerson. Are those real candles? Yes. People, but the background is not real. That's a random question. In the store, I used to light incense. It's teak wood.
Hmm.
You have another question, Jeff? No? Okay. Oh, hi, Petra. Petra goes, boomers, zoomers. Question. Teakwood, yes. How do you know? Hello, Emerson. I really appreciate your articulation of communicating what cannot be communicated. There seems to be so much clarity, even with the articulation and explaining things. How come some speakers are stuck in saying that nothing is said? I don't want to comment on other speakers. That much appreciated, if much appreciated. Though there's a lot of love for other speakers, a lot of love, a lot of appreciation. Again, comparing, it's just a story. There's really nothing. It's just boom. It's just boom. Yeah. But thank you for the question. I didn't want to, mean to cut you out, cut the question off. But yeah, some of these characters I love, in the story, of course. I was just showing my appreciation for this. Oh, thank you. Thank you. The articulation is just, this character, I'm saying, although every character is just a story, it's just a narrative. And it's just what is. Everything is just what is. The seeming kind of like, expression is seemingly just that this is what is. There's going to be stories about seeking and being a teacher. That's also what is. Yeah. Thank you. Tumors, Patrice. Hi, Patrice. Hi, Emerson. Thank you so much for this meeting. I keep on booming here, but how do I maintain this boom? You can't maintain the boom. There was a warning at the beginning. I can't remember what I said, but this is not about trying to get to the boom, trying to figure out. This boom is not a state. It's not an experience. Even the experiences goes boom. Even states goes boom. Everything that's held on to goes boom, right? So this is like the absence of whatever seems to be thought of as a preference of what it should be. There seems to be, with this kind of communication, when it's not seemingly addressing or teaching anything, it's just basically expressing that there's nothing that can be known. And it uses words like boom, not as a knowing or a figuring out. It's the lack of knowing. It's the lack of understanding. It's the lack of position. It's basically saying that it can't be spoken about, but it's this boom. It can't be known, but it's just this boom. It can't be said in a word, but it's this boom. So the seeming booming or the seeming kind of like blacking out of what's being said is just the absence. So there's this seeming kind of like trying to grasp from everything. How do I get to that boom? Oh, because everything that seems to be thrown at it's kind of like it gets shot, you know what I'm saying? And it's like one of those shooting things that, when you throw something, a skeet, one of those, I can't remember what those are, when you shoot these plates, and it just vanishes. So whatever's thrown at is simply disintegrated or obliterated as just pointless, meaningless. And then at the pointlessness, when everything goes boom, there's this clarity that this running show of trying to figuring out this running kind of like idea that something is happening, or this circular pattern of seeking and everything gets basically caught as really nothing happening, as an absence, as an apparition, as an illusion, as a mirage, as a dream, whatever word that seems to see that it's real and not real at the same time. Hello.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. The boomerang.
Yeah, but there's no boomerang really.
Yeah. Comes right back at you. Yeah. But no, I was just, I think, I don't know whether it was last week's meeting or when, I forget, you were using the word pulsating. And I was like, okay, everything's pulsating in and out, pulsating. And I was like, what the
don't get caught up in anything that I say. Yeah, again, the reason I changed my
No, don't get caught on. Of course not. It's just another booming.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, not to say I'm caught on shit, but there has been pulsating all over the place. And it's like, I wanted to strangle you. Not kidding. There's a lot of pulsating stuff. Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, it's just weird. It's just weird. Yeah. When stuff starts pulsating. Oof. Yeah. I mean, it calms down a bit. It's calmed down now somewhat, but you know what I mean, right? It's going in and out, the pulsating of just like the leaves right
illusion.
Now. Or what?
Yeah, that's just another appearance. Yeah. Right? So there's this appearance of coming and going, but really there's nothing happening.
Yeah, but it's exquisite. The birds pulsating in and out of the birdhouses and stuff. It's just amazing.
Oh, okay.
I like that word now. I didn't like it at first, but I like it now. I like booming too.
Booming. Yeah.
Yeah. I like booming. I like it. I like boomers also.
I'll come up with another words.
Yeah, I can't believe I can't remember them. Of course, the infamous unconditional wow.
Yeah.
That's probably the number one as you come along with these what do you call these kinds of words? What do you call them?
Nothing.
Oh, like that guy Michael said, wording. What are we doing here? There's no words. We're wording.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. I was watching one of your one-on-one videos and you were talking about DMT. Ooh, did that experience help make everything clear that this is it? Does that clarity remain even after the trip is over? What this is not an experience. It's not a trip. It's not a position, right? So this is the clarification that even that, there's this seeming experience of this DMT of getting, I neither recommend it or not recommend it. This is just the talk. This is not a recommendation or not a recommendation. It's just what is. So when there was this seeming kind of like, seeking that temporal experience of this experience, you know what I'm saying? This psychedelic experience was also seen just as an experience, right? It could be kind of like a seeing that there's nothing needed, but the moment that experience need, then it yearns for that again. So there's no recommendation for that because it's just a seemingly never-ending seeking. So nothing really remains from that. The clarity that is seen here is not based from anything, not from any ayahuasca trips or any teacher, not even speaker. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have a source. When this boom is seen, not by anyone, but the boom is booming, there's nothing that is either heard, experienced, any state, any kind of like alteration of consciousness is seen as something significant. There's just this nonstop boom, this infinite unhappening happening. Again, I'm saying too many words right now and trying to express what is already clear. So no amount of trying to, there's this, I have a funny story about that. It's like maybe I should microdose, and then it becomes maybe major dose. It's just the seeking. It's just another extension of seeking. And it can be dangerous sometimes, right? There could be some psychosis that appears, you know what I'm saying, when it's not monitored or everything. So there's really no recommendation for any of that, because it's just it was fun, you know what I'm saying, but it was also scary for other characters. It's just what is. Yeah. It's not a temporal kind of like enlightenment when you see, oh, this is everything, because that's also an experience. This is the ordinariness, the simplicity, that nothing is needed. There's this peace, this contentment that cannot be bought or cannot be experienced in heightened, alterations of seeming ideas of what is. So this is like, this is kind of like almost like the sobriety of everything that was imagined. Was listening to a spiel by Alan Watts this morning, and he was saying that the word illusion comes from the Latin ludere, play, to play. Yeah, this is play. It's play. Someone said would love to do DMT with you, Emerson. It's not needed anymore. Yeah. Hey, Tia.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Good. You?
Excellent.
Yeah. I was interested in, I know you probably did speak about your DMT experience, but I'm interested to hear it once again, because my experience was like, it was really nothing, like nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Literally nothing. Like it didn't have the sounds, the colors, anything.
It was just blank,
right? In story, I would say like it was all black.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It really didn't have a color. Like it
Yeah.
was nothing. And I didn't have the urge like to have it again, because it was really nothing.
I've tried it multiple times because I was this persistent seeker, right? So I have multiple experiences with it. Sometimes it was just this, out of this seeming kind of like, reality and waking up in different reality and everything. It's really short, right? But there are also some moments that it was just really nothing. It was just blank emptiness, right? And but the experience with the ayahuasca, which was prolonged, you know what I'm saying? There was one time that the first time I took it, I met Aya, which is supposed to be the ayahuasca spirit, right? Of course, when I came out of that 8 hours of ceremony, I told everyone that I met Aya, and someone said that you must be enlightened. And I'm like, yes, I am. So I was telling everyone that I was enlightened.
I was a good character.
And then the second trip, it was just meh. The third trip, the shaman's father passed away, and 90% of the characters kind of like went to hell, seeming hell, And they were looking for this character. They're like, are you still enlightened? I'm like, no, I went to hell as well. So it's just an experience, right? So one experience was I was enlightened, one experience I was nothing, and then one experience I was in Barda, which is the middle. It's just what is. Yeah, it's all really nothing. So perhaps your apparent experience, you know what I'm saying, with DMT was probably the clearest one of all.
I don't know. It's just nothing, really nothing. It's not
it
like
was just
clear
really
or
nothing.
unclear, really nothing.
That's probably the
Thank
best.
you.
Yeah, because when there's a seeming, kind of like looking for like, I want to see that different dimension again, when everything is just this, everything is talking in geography or talking in math and everything, right? Then there's a longing for that imaginary experience again. It's just what is, it's just what is. There's contentment in this, no matter what this is, right? So this could be a construct, this could be whatever. Who knows what this is, but there's contentment here, because this contentment is the seeming relaxation that there's nothing to figure out anymore. Everything just goes boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I like that. Oh, Daggy. Hi, Daggy. I wanted to say hi to you. You have a new video.
Hi.
Hi, Daggy.
Hi, so nice to see you. Oh my God, I'm so
nice
happy.
To see you.
Just like very, very tired right now, and I need to go to sleep. But it's like there is just like every time when there is seeing of Emerson, the face starts to smile. Like, oh my God.
You have your YouTube channel now. I'm gonna watch it. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I'm looking forward
thank you. But there's not much going on there. But who knows? Maybe there will be more dancing or something.
Awesome. Thank you, Daggy. Thank you for passing by.
Thank you.
Love.
Love to you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Jeff, how are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. I was thinking that there isn't a next, there isn't again. And I'm just riveted to the moment. And I feel just completely empty.
Good.
I miss desire. I don't know how that's possible.
That's also what is.
I spent most of my life desiring things.
Yeah.
And I seem to have achieved everything I thought I desired. And the desires have all melted away. And I don't want anything anymore.
Beautiful.
And I'm not sure I know how to go on without desire.
Yeah. Desire is just a construct, right? So the desire will keep on going around and around and around. So for example, the desire to have something is a desire. A desire to have nothing is just another desire. So even a desire to get rid of a desire is also a desire. So desire will just keep on going around and around. When it's seen that that desire is really empty, no matter what shows up, it's just an empty desire. Then there's just this, it's just what is.
It just seems futile right now to desire anything.
Yeah, it is. It does.
All right.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Every time the boom is said, I'm like, what the fuck was said before that? Like it cuts everything out because it really is nothing. Yeah, boom. It's like, I think it's like a reset. It's like nothing happened. There's no before or after. Boom. It's just this. It just clears away all of this residues that there's something happening, or there's whatever word seems to appear is just boomed out. Hey, Emerson, as much as I love these one-off weekly meetings, I would love to have another one of those 2-day or 3-day or 4-day or 5 days, maybe 2 days, not 5 days. There's a lot of enjoyment with it too. Yeah. Yes, just maybe in a couple of weeks or next week. I don't know. We'll see. I have to take a look at the schedule. But thank you for asking. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Hi, Emerson. I feel like there's a lot of clarity, like a ringing in my ear, like it's booming something, and I can't seem to get it out now. Is that what you're talking about that you're not talking about? That's it. Whatever it is, there's this seeming resonance, right? That cannot really be experienced. It's silence that cannot be heard, but it's always what is. There's always this permanence, not an idea of something spiritual or holy or something or a source. There's this permanence of emptiness that is not a thought, is not a concept, is not something that is missing. It's what is. In the absence of idea and the directness, there's always this silence. What never seems to waver, what never seems to flip-flop or, have any opposites. It's just this seeming stillness that does not have any opposites. It's just this. It doesn't have any separation. It does not require understanding or getting. It's just this. And that's what's being expressed here. It's just this seeming obviousness that in the absence of ideas and thoughts and words, it already is. It's already boom. And this is just a story maybe about 5 years ago when there was just this silence. I was just kind of like, wow, this silence is super loud. It seems to crash everything. It seems to boom, pulverize every thought that seemed to come because it's just silence. So there's really no difference from the thoughts or silence. So you can say that the thoughts were silent. Even if they were appearing, they didn't really have any meaning or purpose or any significance. There's no hierarchy because it's just seen as all empty. There's no lesser or more. It's just empty. So that's what's being talked about, is the emptiness of these talks, that there's nothing missing. So there's nothing to get. There's nothing that's going to be achieved here because it already is. There's nothing that's going to be known because it's already unknown. There's nothing to be figured out because it already is. So this boom that is not spoken, this boom that is this seeming infiniteness is what is. And the reason that the boom is being said is that it's almost kind of like any idea that comes up is reset. Not nothing, not everything, but reset. Nothing to reset it to. There's no original or there's no thing, but reset. For a lack of a better word, it's almost like it's just shooting down everything, but there's no one shooting down everything. There's no one witnessing or aware of what is. It's just this.
When you say shooting down everything, does that include God? God is shot down?
Why not?
We don't need him.
Well, that's just an idea. It's not about needing or not needing. Any thought, you know what I'm saying? It's just, God or no God are both thoughts.
Well, I spent most of my life in a constant dialogue with God. When I need something, I would say, oh, God, please.
Oh, I did too. I did too.
Me.
You know what I'm saying? I did too. This is not about a belief or non-belief. You know what I'm saying? It's just what is. There's nothing wrong or right about, devotion or non-devotion. It's just what is. But when it's seen that everything that's appearing, everything that seemingly is stuck is also just this emptiness, then there's no separation anymore. So if the apparent, you know what I'm saying, God, the unknowable God is not separate, does it need a conversation?
But I can still ask God for help when I need to ask someone.
There's no one choosing to do or not, you know what I'm saying? So, but is it really pointless then because there's no separation? So it's like this hand asking this hand for something, or this finger asking for this finger. There's no separation.
Right, but praying happens. Praying happens sometimes.
Saying happens, yeah. It's all empty. It's all empty.
Praying, praying.
But who is it going to pray to?
It just happens.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing wrong or right about that, right? It's like talking to yourself sometimes.
I think it is talking to myself.
Sometimes you're kind of like, oh, why did I do that? It doesn't really have any meaning or any purpose.
Well, I don't want to seem crazy. If I'm talking to God, at least I'm not talking to myself.
Well, it's already crazy when you think that there is something separate.
Talking to anyone. This is crazy.
This is crazy. Yeah. Talking about this is crazy. It already is crazy. So when there's nothing separate anymore, it sees everything as is. It sees everything as it. Everything that seems to, it's not about thinking that there's a separate or there's a non-separate. It's just what is.
So there may have been a need for God at one point in my life, and there may not be a need for God anymore.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, need or no need is just the same. It's already it. It's already it.
It was all right then, and it's all right now.
Well, there was no then even.
Yeah, I got you.
There's not even a before. In this intimacy, in this directness, is there any separation? Is there a separate God? Is there a source? Aside, again, in this emptiness, in this radical expression that there's nothing needed. In this peace, is there anything separate? Is there anything needed? Without any words or thoughts, this is it already.
So there is no beginning. There's no source.
No. How can there be? Aside from a thought.
And there's no end.
That's also a thought, yeah. So this is the Alpha and the Omega appearing simultaneously.
Right. Eternity and time.
Yeah. Seemingly happening, yeah. Outside of any ideas or any thoughts, this is it. This is it. You don't have to call it the God or not God. It's it.
So you could just as easily say this is God.
You can also say that this is not God, which will be the same statement.
Same thing.
Yeah. So it's not about coming up with a conclusion. It's not about what you think. Yeah, it has nothing to do with what you think.
You could say anything. It's all
you could say anything. Yeah. Again, thoughts and thinking and everything. And it's funny when there is, every time that this conversation is brought up about God, I'm saying there's a personalization, there's a heaviness to it. A lot of people get offended when it's being expressed that any idea is separation.
Well, there are whole traditions where God is the beloved.
Of course, yeah. And there's nothing wrong or right about that, right? But that's just also an idea. There's also atheism.
It's a beautiful idea.
There's also atheism when there's no God.
That's beautiful.
That's also the same, yeah. So it's seen that God or no God is the same.
Atheism is a religion now. It's they have churches.
Again, it doesn't matter. Theism, monotheism, theism, spirituality is just seen as just these ideas of something that cannot be figured out. And it's almost like an insult to what is, and boxing it into an idea of a concept of there is or there is not.
But what is seems to enjoy all the multiplicity.
But that's just another idea. In the absence of thoughts, in the absence of ideas, in the absence of everything, this is already completion. This is directness. This is the peace that cannot be understood. This is the love that's unconditional. This is it. This does not need belief systems or understanding or concepts or scriptures. This is not made up.
Nothing's needed.
And it might seem to be made up, and again, all of these words that you're spewing, right, is just really insignificant. The significance is that there is this unknowableness, this mystery that is not really a mystery. It's this. Emptiness is looking at emptiness. Nothing is hearing nothing. Unconditional love is unconditional loving. This freedom is freedom-ing. It already is. It does not require any thoughts or ideas of what this should be or what it is, because it does not require an interpretation. Anything that would be said, anything that would be mentioned is just an interpretation of what is. Can
anything go wrong?
If there's nothing wrong or right aside from a thought.
Well, what if you stub your toe?
That's just what is.
What if you get hit by a car?
That's just what is. Boom, that's it.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong or right about it. Yeah.
All
wrong
right.
or right. It's wrong or right, just, it's just an idea
All right.
of what should be and what shouldn't be, right? Again, when there's just this unconditionality that everything is already what is, it's already done.
I give up.
There's no you to give up, though. Love you, Jeff.
All right.
But do message me. And there are, I know that I received so many emails. Sorry, I was traveling back and forth. I'll respond to emails, maybe after this meeting. Sorry if I've not responded back. There's some request for some one-on-one. I know Corey and his son. We'll schedule something out.
Thank you, Emerson. I did hear you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Corey. There's Corey. Hello. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not watching. I've got my camera turned off because my
Oh,
eyes.
no worries. No worries. We'll chat soon.
Yeah.
We'll chat soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Emerson.
Oh, hi. iPhone.
I'm sorry. I can't. Oh, Jesus Christ. This damn phone. Anyway, I hope nobody saw that. But anyway, what I wanted to say when Jeffrey was talking, I had so many years of Catholicism and so many years of praying. And even when, I dabbled with some gurus, but even when I picked my own guru, it was a guru that incorporated Christianity into his messages and his chants and everything. It was amazing. And, I don't believe any of that SHIT anymore. I just don't, I know it's this in every whatever blip. But, and I was saying this to somebody this morning. Yeah, I was saying when I get sometimes something like really, really scary happens, you get into a situation, say your car is hydroplaning through water, you just automatically start praying almost like, Hail Mary, it's a conditioned response. I'm about ready to die there. And the conditioned response is, God help me, stop it. Because, I couldn't call on nothing.
Exactly.
It's funny. Yeah. It's funny though, because there's just an absence of that. There was an instant praying before when there was. I remember when my little nephew went into I think when what do you call it, a pink alert or something, when the baby goes pink or something and they need to revive the baby. I remember praying, but this seeming, when my sister's baby came out, and they had to revive it. My awesome Aussie, my nephew, he was super healthy right now, but he would, So my mom was saying that you closed your eyes instantly and you started praying, but this was prior to this communication. But what is seen now is just what is. There's no more praying character there. There's no more seeking for something better of what already is, obviously, that is already complete, right? So there's no longing or desiring for something better, and praying seemingly creates this construct that there's something that can be better than this. I hope that clarifies that. Yeah.
Well,
there's nothing wrong or right about.
I'm just saying, in sheer terror, in the moment of sheer terror, you're like, it just automatically. I mean, I hope to God you never go to sheer terror. Well, you did with your nephew, and thank God he paid, whatever. But I'm just saying.
I did actually, when there was this immediance of kind of like, I think I talked about this when I got mugged. There was no praying. There was actually love for that.
Yeah,
it actually saw the terror.
But that was way later. That was way later, you said, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no more prayer. There's no more prayer. There's no more wanting for something.
Way later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I could get there. I still don't know. I don't know.
There's no you to get there, though. It's already what is.
Yeah, yeah. There's no you to get there. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, I guess. Well, we'll. I was going to say we'll find out, but no, thank you. No, thanks. Okay, thanks. No, I don't want to find out. I can't. Shit, I can't find the freaking microphone.
What about healing?
Healing happens, but for no one, it's just what is.
I mean, if let's say you get sick, can you not want to get better?
There's really no one to get better. It just happens, right? So it's either going to get better or not. It's just what is. I did get sick quite a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it's just what is.
But when you get sick, do you not ask to get better?
No. Who am I going to ask?
Get better? You don't want to get better? Yeah. You don't take a pill. You don't.
Taking a pill happens. Taking medication happens, but there's no longing for something.
Doctor? You still go to doctors?
Yeah, that happens too. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. There's really no one.
It matters if you need to go to a doctor.
Yeah, but there's no one trying to. Oh, sorry, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I can share a story if you like about something that happened. Yeah. When I got really, really sick, there was just this. It's just what is, right? There's no. My dad got scared and sent me, to get some doctor help and everything, right? But that's also what is. So there's really no one choosing to get better or not to get better. It's just what is. Just healing happens or not. There's just this contentment of whatever it is, right? So it's just what is. Yeah. There's no more fear or of something to happen and everything, or even if fear arises, it just gets boom. It's nothing.
So you accept being ill, but you also
there's no one accepting, but it's just illness is happening.
Illness happens.
Yeah. There's no one controlling the show, right? There's no one running the show, so to speak. There's no one that is wanting this or that. Is just what is.
So illness happens and going to a doctor happens.
Yeah. Why not? That's also what is. There's no one controlling, or not going to a doctor happens too. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Well, a choice seems to be made.
Well, there's really no choice aside from an idea.
Go to a doctor. Someone chooses.
In the story, yeah, there's an apparent choosing to do. Yeah.
In the being story, ill is just another scene in the story.
Oh yeah, it's just what is. It's also boom.
The story keeps evolving, even though everything.
There's not even a story. It's just booming.
It's booming.
It's just what is.
The cancer is booming.
It's just what is. Yeah. It's just what is.
Tell that to someone who has cancer.
Oh yeah, I deal with my mom every day. I don't tell her that. You know what I'm saying? It's just what is. So telling my mom, how are you feeling? it's just what is. It's not about, there's this misconception.
So you sympathize with her.
There is a reaction seemingly happening. There's a lot of compassion. You know what? There's also talking in these meetings that's not really necessary, right? But it's still happening. But there's no one choosing to do this or not. You did not come here to choose or not to choose. It's just what's happening. These questions that are coming out are not being chosen. It's just what's happening. There's also going to be, regret or no regret, in this kind of stuff, but no one's choosing to do any of that. It's just what is. So whatever seems to be happening is just what is. There's no one choosing to do or not, aside from an idea that someone's choosing to do or not. There's an idea that there's an Emerson that's doing this. There's an idea that there's Jeffrey that's choosing to do this, but that's just another idea. That's just another thought.
You wouldn't say to your mother, it's just what's happening. She wouldn't understand.
No, of course not. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. But there's also no one choosing to say this is just happening to the father's side.
You just know that's
in the absence of what's being, in the absence of words and everything, is there a chooser? In the absence of thoughts, is there anyone choosing to do this?
Appears to be, but it's just
not even appears to be. Without any thoughts, it's nothing. There's just this emptiness. There's just this silence. It's really nothing.
I wish your mother well anyway.
Oh, she's good. She's good. She's good. She
All
gets
right.
a lot of love. Yeah. She gets a lot of love, a lot of care.
All right.
Oh, I think that we went over time, apparently. If you have any questions, we can go on for another 15 minutes. It doesn't matter. If not, I'll just wait a little bit here. Smell at nothing. Hi, Emerson. I really enjoyed this meeting. Every time that you said boom, it was boom. Seemingly, there's a lot of people that ask question in story form. And how do you feel about that? It's just what is. It's okay. It's all right. It is whatever it is. Again, you know what I'm saying? Then there's just this clarity that whatever seems to appear is boom, that's it. Boom. Questions about stories, that's it. Questions about whatever, that's it. No question, that's also it. It's just what is. It does not require any input from this character to any character. It does not require any argument of what is and what shouldn't be. This story here is not necessary. It's just what is. Any stories that are being asked is just what is. Boom, it's nothing. Boom, it's everything. And again, it really does not really, stories are it as well. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Again, what's being illuminated here is that there's nothing needed. Stories might appear, questions might appear, but it's always it. There's this boom, this infiniteness, this radiance, not as an experience, not as a concept, but just the clarity that there's always this. And what this is cannot really be expressed. Hi, Emerson. Are you Filipino by any chance? I'm in Manila. Oh, Filipino ko. If you want to speak to me in Tagalog, I can. But I'm actually Waray. So my parents are from Samar. But I can not as good. Some actually, I'm not sure if it was you, but there's a character that asked if I can do a Filipino video. I'm planning to do it, and I'm going to wear a barong. Barong is a Filipino outfit. But thank you for coming. Galing, which means good. If there are no more questions, forever hold your peace. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day. There's a breakout room. I'll join the breakout room. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Emerson.
I'm going to take a little.